kid.
No.
I don't think it.
But they just wouldn't have access to children if there were no institution to support them.
Yeah, but that's essentially abolishing.
No, I'm just saying that people like the people who patronize the Catholic Church should stop giving them money.
Right,
I'm sorry. How about this? How about the parents take some fucking responsibility and keep them away from these fucking priests who are raping kids?
Well, but what if
it's almost the same thing?
But what if you don't? Kids, especially at young ages, are very impressionable. They will not. If somebody of authority is telling you, if you tell anybody you're going to hell, that's a scary thing for a little kid.
It is.
Put yourself
in like a. Agree. I agree with you in that sense.
It's a scary thing.
But as a parent, you should make sure that your kid is not alone with a fucking priest who's going to rape them. It's not like about like the whole religious aspect of it or not. If your child is with a predator, keep them away from them.
You don't know they're predators.
The news says otherwise.
Yeah, but
I think there's a pretty simple solution to keeping them away.
Our old priest, and I'm not going to say names, but you know which one we were talking about before off air. Nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
So he's not a bad guy.
Apparently he is a bad guy.
No. Different
the one before that one.
Like, I grew up Catholic, so I had to go through confession and all that. I was in a room with him alone, and serious conversation. Nothing ever happened because he was a good person. So not every Catholic priest is going to be bad. So you'll never know.
But going away on like these retreats with just them,
that's bad. I would never do.
Like, I am not sending my kid on a retreat with Father McPattenfields. Like, not happening.
Yeah.
Okay,
but I just think
serious conversation over.
It seems like
you're right though.
It seems like there's a fairly simple way to keep the children away from the priests, and that is to just stop going to church.
It's very sad. It's very scary, but unfortunately, and we talked about this when this first broke. Nothing is going to happen. I'm sorry. It's not. The Pope is not going to do anything.
No, he's not going to be pressure. He's not going to step down.
Pope is not going to resign.
Well, he already said he would pray and fast. So.
Yeah, he's going to pray and fast. That's his fucking solution. I'm going to stop eating. Please stop eating.
Give my thoughts and prayers to the Pope.
Yeah, exactly.
Making sure that he doesn't go to hell.
And you know what? It's the scary part is he's probably the most progressive Pope that we've ever seen.
That's not progressive enough.
Clearly.
Well, he's a Pope. He's not going to be progressive.
Clearly.
Corruption in the church.
That's
another day.
I got one more. We're just going to breeze over this because we're way over our time. Walt Disney. They have increased their minimum wage to $15 an hour. Apparently, this went on for quite a while. I was reading this as we were talking before. There was a lot of counters between the union at Disney and back and forth. They were like, hey, we want 15. And then Disney was like 9. And then they were like, hey, we want 15. Disney's like 10.25. And then like, hey, we want 15. And they're like 11. And then they were like, hey, we want 15. And they're like, okay, fine, 15. But you're not getting it right away. So fucking chill. Workers' pay will increase to $11 an hour in December and will continue to increase to $15 between then and 2021.
So, do you think it was Mickey Mouse going back against them and they made like this own animation? It's like, we want 15. Oh, no, you get 9. We want 15. Oh, 10.
No, I think Mickey would be part of the union.
No.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No, Mickey is definitely the giant conglomerate. That's
not after not after all the royalties Mickey has.
It's Buzz Lightyear. He's like, to infinity and 15.
No, he'd be part of that too then. Yeah.
I don't think he has as many royalties as Mickey has.
No. Toy Story made a lot of money.
It did, yeah.
But anyway, that's still pretty good news.
Yeah, that's something.
A company that makes so much money, hey, all right, $15 is not going to hurt them. And it's not crippling their business.
Well, they've made a ton of money.
And now,
now they just took over Star Wars.
They took over Star Wars.
I was going to say,
a lot of money
and they're making their own Netflix.
Yeah.
Which is going to generate a little bit of money.
Yeah.
So they can pay $15
quite a
an
bit.
hour. So
I have a little girl at home. She's going to love that shit.
And for some reason,
you're going to be watching a lot.
For some reason, they haven't picked up Schindler's List yet. No.
Pass.
Just a matter of time. All right, that's all I got. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Steven for the Not America report. And you're going to meet Steven for the first time.
For the first time.
Yep, because it didn't already happen. Okay, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's our show.
Well, it's definitely not my show.
You're adrift at sea already, aren't you? Like 5 words into that sentence.
No.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Joining us now all the way from Not America is our Not America correspondent. That is Steven. Hi, Steven.
Hello, lads. How are you doing?
You know, not too bad.
Yeah, not bad at all, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
3 friends hanging out, drinking some beer, talking some politics.
Yeah.
Because that happened already.
Yeah. Well, it's
Wink,
good
wink,
to meet
wink.
Joe for the first time.
Of course, yeah.
All right. So we're drinking a new beer because this is a different segment than the one that we just did.
And we haven't been drinking it the whole time either.
No, we
No.
haven't.
Nope.
Right?
Totally.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah,
right?
Just remember
Right.
what...
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Steven, are you drinking with us today?
I am. I've got a cherry Bakewell green tea.
Oh, okay.
Now you might not.
Is that it?
You might not. You might not know what a cherry Bakewell is. So
No. Yeah, explain it for us, not Americans.
it's short crust pastry. It's filled with frangipan and covered with like an almond fondant, and it's got a half a glacé cherry on top. That's what the actual real cherry Bakewell is, and this tastes very much like it, to be fair. So I think they've cracked it.
Oh,
So
Wow.
do you eat one when you drink one?
ooh.
You could do, yeah. I'm not actually doing so at the moment because I kind of feel that eating while I'm talking is impolite, even when talking to United States.
That's how you get your mic dirty.
You know, it's only an audio podcast, so I mean, that's not really too much of an issue. Well, that sounds
I'm
good.
pretty sure we've done that.
Well,
Oh, we have. We have.
yeah,
We
I
totally
didn't
have.
want to bring that one up, Austin, but yeah.
Oh, no, it's okay. I was really drunk. Or high. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
You
I just
pretty
remember
drunk.
the process.
No, yeah,
never,
I know.
Never
I know.
happened before.
Never happens.
We are also drinking, and we are drinking a beer from Victory. It is their Sour Monkey, courtesy of our friend Joe. Thank you for bringing these in.
Yeah.
No problem.
A measly 9.5% ABV. If you guys are ready, we'll do a cheer,
Oh, yeah.
and we'll get this started.
And can we actually... Wow, this is kind of impressive. Yeah.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Right.
It seems easier when we're not in the same room.
I know. It kind of is. So what do you guys think? I love this beer.
Yeah, this is
Me too.
fantastic. Yeah.
It's a
It's-
sour beer,
But
but
it has a sweet aftertaste,
Yeah.
which is okay.
and it's not too sour, which I
No,
like.
I would call it tart. It's
Okay.
not like that full,
Sure.
like the Weyerbacher
but
sour stuff.
But is it Bakewell tart?
No.
No.
No. How's your biscuit tea?
It's
Whatever
actually
it is.
it's actually delicious. Yeah,
Okay.
it shouldn't be, but it is.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right. If you're ready, Steven, I think it's time for this month's edition of the Not America Report.
Look, I know a lot of people give Americans a bum rap for being stupid and knowing nothing about the world, but the reality couldn't be further from the truth, as I discovered on the streets here, asking US locals about the very world their country runs. Name a country that begins with U.
Utopia.
What's the religion of Israel?
Catholic, probably.
What religion are Buddhist monks?
Buddhist monk. Islamic, I don't know.
What is the currency used in the United Kingdom?
Queen Elizabeth money. That's all I know.
All right, Steven, I'm sure nothing has happened because America's news is the only news that actually matters. But just in case we did miss something over the past month, why don't you go ahead and tell us what we missed?
Right, well, you can try and pretend you're interested in the rest of the world just for a handful of minutes.
I don't want to.
That's what we do.
Well, that's more than
about
most
a half
Americans
hour.
do, to be fair. So
Yeah. Well, we're slightly better than most people.
you're
just slightly.
absolutely
little
right.
bit.
You are slightly better.
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly.
And I like to think my input is part of that. Anyway,
Sure. If it makes you feel better, yes.
Yeah, the old
The,
reach around.
yeah,
All right,
talking
Stephen.
things that feel better. Yeah. This past month or so, there's been a number of countries that have been having elections, and I said elections since you were talking about reach around, not anyway.
I get it. He was instead of erection.
Oh,
that's
Tom.
funny.
Oh, you're special.
That's good.
That, yeah.
That's good. All right, well, that's been Steven's Not America Report, everyone.
Thank you and good night. No, well, in Pakistan, they've elected the former cricketer Imran Khan. He's been elected as president based upon promises of new ways and new beginnings and a change from the old way of doing things. But he's still been accused of being in cahoots with the military, who are seen as being the power behind the throne as far as Pakistani politics is concerned. The majority of other parties are claiming that the election was unfair, and independent observers from the EU and USA are saying there's a lack of equality of opportunity and flaws in the goal of full and fair, transparent elections. Now, I'm not sure how the Americans would actually recognise that if they saw it, based upon their own experience at home.
Never heard of it.
It's a bit of a confusing
I was going to
thing,
ask,
really.
how would we even know?
Yeah, no, it's nothing like that happens here.
Certainly, though, it was a lot fairer than it was over the border, a couple of borders in Cambodia, where the Prime Minister, who's been in office for 33 years, was re-elected unopposed. Yeah. You can keep adding years to this, obviously, now. And you know, you tend to get re-elected unopposed when you don't really have any opposition parties because you've made them illegal. The opposition groups advocated a boycott of the polls by voters, but unfortunately 82% of the eligible voters still cast their ballot. And whether that's because they supported the Prime Minister or whether they feared the retribution they'd get if they didn't have the purple ink on their finger, is a bit of a question that goes unanswered. Elsewhere, you might remember me previously talking about Zimbabwe. And they've got a new president for the first time in 38 years. So, you know, it keeps getting better. They've having ousted Robert Mugabe last year, Emerson Mnangagwa, who I won't be saying his name again.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. What was his name again?
His name is Emerson. Well,
I heard that part, but you know,
he's from the same dictatorial party as Mugabe, and he was faced with an opposition candidate to see if he could get the 50% plus one to get elected as president. Now, luckily, after a few days of delayed counting of the votes, he managed to get 50.8% of the vote. Understandably, it does take a while to rub all those crosses out on the ballots and write it in a different box. So that's maybe why the delay was there.
You don't say.
So, but before I move on to probably the favoured topic on here, which is about Jeremy Corbyn being anti-Semitic, I'll tell you.
Oh, yes, of course.
I'll tell you about Australia. And for once, it's not actually a story about paedophile priests in Australia.
I was looking forward.
That's our other favourite story.
Yeah,
that story.
So, and it's not actually also about Sky News, which is the sister station of Fox News, broadcasting an interview with a prominent far-right figure who...
is it hosted by a kangaroo?
It's not actually, nor a Tasmanian devil. So... or a crocodile from Dundee. Which would be entirely different as well.
Such a bad movie. But go on.
Which one?
Have they remade it? I don't know.
What Crocodile Dundee?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Have they?
I don't think we got that one on this side of the pond.
Yeah. I think they've only just remade it, so you might be yet to get it. But
yeah, I'll get my ticket and wait in line. Don't you worry.
I'm sure you will. It'll be the 10th movie you've ever seen in your life?
9th?
Yeah.
9th.
Well,
he's almost made it to double digits.
I've seen Gladiator 8 times.
We're not talking about how many times you've seen movies.
I tell you, I wish I could make it to double digits. Anyway, even in centimeters. So
I forgot. Yeah.
So yeah, Sky News. We won't be talking. They did interview this prominent far-right figure who has court convictions for things including inciting Muslim hatred and calling for the portrait.
Wow.
And he's also called for portraits of Hitler to be in every schoolroom.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, of course.
So he's a
I thought we were talking about
fella.
Australia.
We are talking about Australia, which is rather weird.
You just talked about Trump. I'm really confused.
Yeah, I think this guy's a bit of a fan, to be fair.
Okay.
I love my fans.